Alright guys, we're back. It's game 2, and who should I be playing against but Josh, the same guy that practices with me on Monday nights. Not so much nowadays that he's doing his cricket umpire training, but Circle against Cygnar. You guys have seen many battle reports featuring my lists against his eStryker list and his eNemo list. I even played a game where we swapped armies and I played Striker and he played Kromac. But here's the real deal, and we're on a very interesting sort of town setting. I quite like this gaming table, it's very well done. And the scenario, if I just double check the Steamroller PDF I've got here, is Command and Control, which is a radial scenario. Quite a difficult one to win. You have to have your caster next to one of 4 flags arranged around them, the sides, and there's a big sort of central command zone which isn't really marked on the table here, but we're going to remember it. So I've deployed in a big sort of line in the middle. He's pretty much done the same, and we both know each other's lists very well at this point. It's just going to come down to who plays the best, and that's what it's all about. So let's just get straight into it. Next photo shows you Striker's layout here. He's got a Stormstrider up the middle, flanked by 2 jacks. He's got how should we put it? Which was the name? Stupid elf. eEiryss. To the left. We're going to walk up the dockside there, and really the plan is just going to have to be centered around that wall up the top left of the photo. I'm going to try and hide Kromac behind that wall, send the beasts forward. If necessary, I can use Ghostly to come out behind it and just crush his jacks. And if I can do that, the rest of his army should be able to fold, because my jacks really, my war beasts, sorry, will really be able to tear apart his army given the chance. If I can waste his feet turn, all the better. Next photo, we're both sort of hanging around in the centre here, and I think he had the first turn, I believe. So really just getting into position with the rest of his army and just sort of playing it cagey. He's well aware of the threat and ranges of my beasts, so he's not going to fall for that. He's played many games against me, so we'll see what happens. eEiryss creeping up to the top of that little wall there, top of the battlefield. Next photo, the Stormstrider rocks up and shoots at the Gnarlhorn satyr, and does that so that he can actually bounce the electrical, thingamajig to the Stonekeeper, who I forgot to put into rock form, so he's not armor 17 at this point. And unfortunately that will be enough to destroy him and actually take away my opportunity to use the stones effectively until I come back into formation later in the game. What you can do is just choose a new leader for the stones and pick that one to sort of move out to the second one, and then take the second one and the leader through to the third one, but it takes a couple of turns to get back in action. Next image, seeing that I was on a slight back foot and that Josh had started the game by playing quite well and I'd made a mistake already, I decided to take a gamble. And that was to move the Lord of the Feast up a bit and then shoot at the Black 13th. Now he's Rat 7, meaning I needed an 8 on 2 dice, so it's a gamble, not likely for me to hit, but I did luck out here and actually managed to score a hit, killing 2 of them. And then that enabled me to rush my Wolf Riders up, because the prey target is the Stormclad. What I wanted to do at this point is sort of get the Wolf Riders into a position where I can start actually picking away at him from range and not just be picked away at by the Stormstrider. And now that I've taken out 2 of the Black 13th, it gives me a real good chance to do that. Whereas with 3 members of the 13th guys, they would have been able to shoot the Wolf Riders pretty badly. Also, sort of ties him up a little bit with 2 of his forces. Unless he sends his Jack over to kill the Lord of the Feast, then I'm going to be, fine there. If he sends his Jacks forward and sends the Solos over to take care of the Lord of the Beast or the Strike or the Caster, I get to start to throw spears at him, or javelins, I should say. Next image, looking up top here, I've just moved my beasts around. I've got 2 of them going around the wall. eEiryss has run away at this point because I nearly sprayed her with the Pureblood. So if she comes back, I'm going to shoot her with the Pureblood and hopefully kill her. Pureblood's very good at killing eEiryss because he ignores stealth and he can boost the hit. And the spray, will give her no cover or anything like that. But I've kept 2 beasts here well out of range of the 2 jacks down the bottom there, and just planning on creeping my way around while the Wolf Riders pick away at him, and hopefully we'll get a chance, and he hopefully brings his guys far forward enough to let me do something. And as you can see back in the background there, the 2 stones just congealing together. Congealing, what am I saying? They're moving together so that they can then teleport to the 3rd stone. Next photo, Striker decides that he will be the one who moves over and kills the Lord of the Feast, so he easily manages to do that. He's feated and he's given 3 focus to the Stormclad and 2 to Rowdy, which is quite ominous. This says to me that he plans to actually run his jacks forward, then use the feat move to actually attack my beasts. I quite like that, because although my beast will take a big hit, it does mean that he'll only get that 1 hit with each of his beasts, which shouldn't, as Jack, so it shouldn't kill my beast outright, and then I'll be able to retaliate and crush his warjacks as planned. So that's what's going to happen, hopefully. Love the photo, though. Josh has been doing a lot of painting this week and has got himself organised, so that's really cool to see. Next image, here they go. So the Stormclad moves up and smashes the Stalker, and the Ironclad smashes into the Gnarlhorn. Unfortunately for me, the Stormclad actually is able to do a huge amount of damage on the Stalker, and I think I remember that he destroyed it unbelievably. Can't quite... Oh, yeah. What had happened, I think, is that the Storm Strider had already shot him, done a whole bunch of damage to him, and then the Stormclad had moved up and finished the job, and that's what really got him the advantage in the situation. Let's go to the next photo, though, because Kromac is keen to get some revenge here. The other thing that caused the Stalker to die, of course, is the the Sword Knights running up and getting their feet move onto the poor old beast as well. So retaliating, sending in my Gorax, sending in the Gnarlhorn and my Stalker with Ghostly and the Pureblood. I think then the Gnarlhorn was primaled. The other Stalker's got Wild Aggression, and just thrashing the pants off him. But what really made this turn critical, and what will affect the rest of the game from now on, is that these 3 beasts took Rowdy down to like 3 or 4 boxes left, or maybe 6 boxes, around about that many boxes, but didn't take out any of his systems at all. So no cortex, no arms, no legs, no nothing. So that means that while my beasts all go hot and frenzy into him, he'll be able to get 3 focus the next turn, probably get positive charge as well, and then smash my second Stalker if he chooses to, which is really bad news, because it's going to leave me 2 fairly, moderate beasts in close combat against the rest of his army, and I kind of need the Stalker there to threaten him. The Stalker's the only one that can really reliably take out the battle engine by running up to it and going point blank, hitting repulse ray for 1, then hitting it again, and then hitting it a 3rd time, because I think that's the way it works, so even with 2 hits it might be enough to kill it. So this unfortunate turn of events has put the game into a very tense situation. Let's go to the next photo. We're skipping 1 or 2 turns ahead now, where my opponent has retaliated a little bit, but I've then had an opportunity to destroy Rowdy after losing my second Stalker and moving the Pureblood around to smash the Lancer up a bit. The Gnarlhorn has taken some damage here, but the Gorax has helped to clean up the Sword Knights, and Kromac just hanging back there with the Fury as a transfer, and just trying to hang in to the game. And one thing I like doing here is putting the Pureblood into combat with the battle engine, because it means the battle engine will have to shoot the Pureblood rather than anybody else unless he moves out of combat. If he moves out of that combat, he'll have no aiming bonus. I don't dare free strike him, because if I do that, I'll just give him a power token to use. So big tip for people playing against Storm Striders and have trouble beating them. One small thing that doesn't help a lot, but it does help, is that you can engage them with something you don't mind being shot at with, and then it'll have to move away and not get the aiming bonus. So there you go. Luke's tip. Vol's tip, we should say. Luke's my real name, as you guys know. Next, go to the next photo. The Wolf Riders still just having a sort of barrels dockside shootout with Striker and his pals. Of course, they're armor 19, defense 19 against any shooting, so they're safe here, but Striker hanging back behind the wall, camping a lot of focus here and there, but this does give them an opportunity to actually run out and chop things. The prey target has been shifted to I think Madeline Corbeau, I believe. Can't quite remember what really happened then. Oh, it's the Sword Knights for a while, but I cleared them up as well. So it's now been shifted to, I think, one of these little solos behind the little barrels. Next image, a critical turn comes here when the Gnarlhorn, because the Pureblood has been destroyed at this stage, the Gnarlhorn runs out, or what does he do here? He charges the Lancer and destroys it, and unfortunately I've already used Warpath, so I couldn't then Warpath into Striker and kill him. But the Wolf Riders have moved around. They've thrown some javelins at Madeline, who is the prey target. She's sack-pawned, or sucker, sorry, there's the rule that she uses to put the hit onto Striker. I've done some damage on him. He's got Arcane Shield, but at this point, Kromac is very badly injured. I think he's only got one transfer left, and eStryker has lost Runewood. I've picked him off as well, so eStryker can't actually assassinate Kromac through that little gap there because he's got Bestial up, and there's a little group of wreck markers where eStryker will actually have to progress through and get slowed down. So a game getting very, very tense. Both of our casters very near to death, and let's go to the next photo. eEiryss moves up, takes a shot at Kromac, and doesn't really hurt him enough. She tries rolls for damage, does only a couple of points. The Journeyman solo in the background there moves up as well, takes a hand cannon shot at Kromac, doesn't manage to hit him. Let's go to the next photo. eStryker moves out of combat with the Wolf Rider. I think ignores a free strike, or takes it and survives. Then he moves out of the 14-inch range for Bestial, then uses Velocity to move another 6 inches away, and then moves around to the other dock side. It takes a hand cannon shot at Kromac, doesn't kill him. The Stormstrider moves out of combat. I don't free strike him because I don't want to give him a power token. He fires at Kromac twice. Kromac's got 4 boxes left, so he needs to hit Kromac twice with the Stormstrider to kill him. He needs 7s to hit with 2 shots, and that's what the game comes down to. If Josh can hit with both of them, he will win. His first attack hits. He does 4 damage only, but Kromac's got exactly 4 boxes left, so he has to transfer it. So he's completely free of transfers with only 4 boxes. Rolls the second set of dice, doesn't come up as a 7, and that ends his turn, basically. Josh was feeling really tense at this point. Almost considered stalling for the timeout, but we had a bit of a laugh about that and he didn't end up doing it, so props to him. And if we go to the next photo, even though Kromac's in range to actually beast form, run up and attack eStryker, the Wolf Riders still have him as the prey target. They move around. In my tenseness and nervousness, I left 2 of them out of range of eStryker completely. But the other one who is in range, who gives him, even with the defense 20 with the cover, rolls a jammy double 6 to hit, and then rolls an extremely jammy, 15 for the damage with the prey target and kills him right there and then. So just a huge amount of luck to end the game there. Not really needed, given that Kromac can actually run over. I felt like I played well to get to the end, but Josh also played really, really, really well and nearly got the win for it. I made a few mistakes. He might have made a couple of mistakes too, but our practice games really have clearly turned us into much better players, and I think this battle report shows that. So glad to show it to you guys too. And it looks like I'm 2 games up into the fields with a very strong result so far. Full of confidence for Game 3. That'll be happening shortly.